a boat from France and a boat from Turkey. They both crashed, and you have a Lotus case.
Yes, Nishan is right. When the French and Turkish ships had an accident in the high sea, we, the student of public international law, got a very important case law, that is Lotus case. Why this case law is important? Because we can refer this case law in multiple places. I have few examples, like you can refer this in the law of the sea, or states and its jurisdiction, or equality of the states, or custom as the source of public international law. All these places you can refer this case law. If this case law is so important, it becomes my responsibility to give you sufficient content for this particular case, and for that I have two slides. Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and under the case laws for public international law, this is my first case law, which is Lotus case. Why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. As I said, I am going to cover this particular case law in two slides. In the first slide, I am going to discuss all the details pertaining to this particular case law. That is why I have named it as incident report. And in my second slide, I am going to discuss the judgment from the Permanent Court of International Justice. One another aspect you need to remember that the United Nations Convention for Law of the Sea was not happened by then. It all started only after 1950s. And during 1926, even UN was not there. It was the League of the Nations which was there. This fact should be there in your mind. Now let us try understand the incident in detail. This happened on 2nd August 1926. What happened? There was a clash between two ships in the high sea. Which were the ships? One French ship by name Lotus, other one Turkish ship by name buz-kourt. Where exactly the incident happened? It happened in the high sea. That is a very important aspect that you need to remember. It happened in the high sea. And what is the reason for the accident? For every accident there should be a cause, and cause for this particular accident was negligence by the watch officer of the Lotus ship. And who was the watch officer? Lieutenant Demons. So what is the result of this particular accident? The buz-kourt torn apart, the ship got broken and it sunk, and along with it, out of 18 Turkish travelers, 8 people died and rest 10 got saved, and they all traveled in Lotus ship and came back to Turkey. From there, the actions by Turkish authorities starts. First, they arrested both Lieutenant Demons, who is the watch officer of Lotus, and the captain of buz-kourt, that is Hassan Bey. And they started the trial, and then they gave punishment to both of them, and the reason for the punishment for Lieutenant Demons was for his gross negligence. Now, how many days jail punishment for Lieutenant Demons? There are different theories. I couldn't get the right data, so I am not putting any data in that particular space, but both of them got jail punishment, and Turkish authorities said they have given that punishment based on objective territorial principle, but France did not agree. France said the ship had our flag, so whatever has happened with Lotus, we are the right authorities to do any kind of investigation, and we don't agree with the Turkish judgment giving jail punishment to Lieutenant Demons. That is what happened at that particular time. Now both had disagreement, and finally they came to one agreement that we will refer the case to Permanent Court of International Justice, that is PCIJ, which was established under League of Nations. Now let us see what happened in the PCIJ. So the first part is over. The second part opens at the PCIJ, that is Permanent Court of International Justice. It came to PCIJ on 7th September 1927. And at that particular time, there was no precise rule in international law as far as conducting the conduct on the another citizen as far as the criminal activities happened in the high sea. Now, accident is a criminal activity. Whatever happened in the high sea, there was no clear guidelines in international law that how to see it. So there was nothing available at that very moment as far as the question considered whether Turkey can conduct trial on French national, but however the loss of vessel was justified with the principle of floating island theory. As I said, there was nothing available in the space of international law for such cases. Saying so, the PCIJ couldn't sit quietly because it had to come up with something, and it came with three beautiful principles. I will read out the principles, which are very easy. The first principle is a state cannot exercise its jurisdiction outside its territory unless an international treaty or customary law permits it to do so. So basically, you have jurisdiction for your territory, including your territorial water, but you cannot do anything outside the territorial water without any kind of international treaty or customary law. I am comfortably using the term territorial water, but then during 1926-27, the territorial water was also not clearly defined. Remember that. The second principle, within its territory, a state may exercise its jurisdiction in any matter, even if there is no specific rule of international law permitting it to do so. That means in your territory, you are the king. You can make any kind of rules, even if international law is not permitting to do so. So basically, two principles are very clear. One gives absolute authority to make rules in your territory, and the other one says without any international treaty or customary law, you cannot do any kind of rights outside your jurisdiction. The third principle is the most important principle as far as Lotus case is concerned, which discusses about the criminal cases happened in High Sea. Now this has happened in the High Sea, the entire coalition happened in High Sea, and here PCIJ said that there is a concurrent jurisdiction available with both France and Turkey. It held that France, as the flag state, did not enjoy exclusive territorial jurisdiction in the high seas in respect of a coalition with vessel carrying the flag of another state. Hence, Turkey and France both have jurisdiction in respect of the whole incident. And remember, PCIJ upheld the actions of Turkish government as it has not violated any of the international law available at that particular time. If nothing is available, Turkish government cannot do anything, and it has not violated anything that is available at that particular time. So the PCIJ upheld the actions by Turkish government. If you ask me, is that the end of Lotus case? I will say it may be an end for Lotus case, but as far as the law of the sea is concerned, it was just a beginning. Like the entire story unfolds from the United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea. We started from 1956 and then in the year 1960, and the final one which concluded in the year 1982. The third United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea gave lot of clarity on different aspects like the internal water, the archipelagic water, the territorial water, the contiguous zone, the exclusive economic zone, or the continental shelf, or the high sea for that matter. And after that, we have different opinion on all the parts of the sea. So the case laws are also seen in a different way, and it is not the Lotus case which is always been used as a sample case. There are different other cases seen in different other ways, and one of the example for that can be cutting case. So basically, this particular case law can be utilized for those aspects which I have told in my introductory slide, and here and there you have to see where exactly that fits into. Most of the time when I start the first slide on a particular topic, I think that I am going to cover this topic in 2 or 3 minutes, and then it becomes a material of 6 to 8 minutes, or sometime 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes. And when I thought of Lotus case, I thought I will complete within 2.5 minutes, and it just went up. Because the more and more information I try to add, it takes time also. But I hope at the end of the day you get sufficient content for this particular case law, and I hope somewhere or the other way you are going to utilize this particular case law in the exam of public international law. Thank you so much for subscribing my channel, because I believe that you have already subscribed. If not, please subscribe right now. And I always say, please like, share and comment my videos. That all YouTubers says. I don't know how much seriously you have taken till date. At least for this video, try share this, try comment on this or like this. Thank you so much for watching me, and all the very best for whatsoever purpose you're watching me, and thanks again.